This is high-speed chess. That's what you're watching.
So we need to talk about the Ring Magazine Times Square card. The first bout I want to speak on today would be my favorite fighter on the card, Mr. Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez. Now, I want to first open up this video by saying the odd makers are a bit off with this one. Devin Haney is minus 1200, I'm sorry, on my sports books. I think that's a bit excessive, right? Devin Haney, this is a comeback fight after a pretty bad beating. This is Jose Ramirez at the end of the day. Minus 1200 seems a bit excessive even for an undisputed pound for pound champion. I think Haney would be better at maybe minus 750, minus 800, but we're not here to talk about the betting odds. We're here to talk about the actual fight. Now, I've watched a bit of Jose Ramirez now. He's a great fighter. I watched him when he fought Taylor for that undisputed title, and he got utterly dominated. Now, I think Jose Ramirez can present some issues in this bout. That's why I think the odds should be a bit closer. The type of fight Jose Ramirez fights, I'm not going to say it's going to present issues for Haney, but it can if Devin Haney isn't cautious, if Devin Haney isn't being Devin Haney like we seen last year when he wasn't himself. His style can present some issues. He's a pressure fighter. He doesn't mind throwing in combinations. He has decent power, right? This is a unified or formerly unified junior welterweight champion. I think this is a pretty solid bout. It could be a really solid bout. Nonetheless, I think Devin Haney has a bit too much for him. He has a bit too much. Devin Haney is a bit too quick with his hands, a bit too quick with his feet. He's just a better fundamental boxer. His jab is going to be something that Jose Ramirez probably will never be able to figure out in this fight. I think it should be a routine fight for Mr. Devin the Dream Haney. But like I said, I think Jose Ramirez does have a pretty good shot in this one, right? If you watch the Arnold Barboza fight, the inactivity of Jose Ramirez is what bothered me. He seemed really inactive in a fight where Arnold Barboza was back on the ropes for 85% of the fight, where Arnold Barboza is not being an aggressor. He's kind of fighting towards or catering towards Jose Ramirez's style to come forward and pressure the opposing boxer. Jose Ramirez didn't throw enough punches in that fight. I don't want him to be that gun shy against Devin Haney if he wants to win that bout. Devin Haney's going to give up a large portion of the ring. Not saying Devin Haney's going to be completely on the back foot like Barboza was, but Haney likes to fight at a good range. And while doing so, he's going to have to give up a good portion of the ring. Jose Ramirez, I was going to say Arnold Barboza, Jose Ramirez needs to take advantage of that. Throw, activity, right? He didn't go to the body enough against Arnold Barboza. Try to break Devin Haney down, right? You could take some shots. You could take one to give one. This is Devin Haney. This is a guy who is terribly lacking in the power department, right? This is a guy who's not the most physically athletic, gifted fighter. So you can beat him a lot of times in these exchanges while you're pressuring him. But like I said, I think end of the day, this is Devin Haney. I think Devin Haney is a beatable fighter, but it's going to take a very special fighter to beat him. And I don't think Jose Ramirez is that special fighter, me personally. It's not much to look at on this fight. This is a great fight for Haney to come back to. Like I said, it's a formerly unified junior welterweight champion who fought for the undisputed titles and unfortunately lost. So this is a great comeback fight for Haney, right? Not a guy who was just terrible in the division. Not a guy who's ranked too high for where he could ruin the Ryan rematch. This is a guy right in the middle. He's not, great. He's not going to ruin the Ryan rematch later this year by beating Haney, but he's not terrible. We could kind of get a gauge on where Haney's at. Can we really look at this fight and see, okay, Devin Haney's back. This is the old Haney. Haney's back and he's ready to fight Ryan. The Ryan fight didn't leave too much mental damage on him, not too much physical damage neither. This is a great bout. I hope you guys don't just tune into the main event. I hope you guys actually get the pay-per-view on DAZN. For $90, you could get all 3 events this week from the Times Square, Tio Haney Ryan, Canelo vs. Skull for Undisputed in Saudi Arabia, and then you could get Naoya Inoue over there in Vegas, also Rafael Espinosa on the undercard of that one. So I hope you guys do get the pay-per-view for $90. This will be an interesting bout. It'll be a great gauge to see where Devin Haney's at this point in his career. You guys let me know, how do y'all feel about Ramirez versus Haney? Is anybody excited for it? Do you think this is a gauge? Do you think this is just an easy tune-up fight? Do you think there's any chance Jose Ramirez can get him? I'm really interested to see what you guys think about this one.